Hi, I'm Nora Amath. My story starts in April 2001 in the Redlands, in a small suburb called Capalaba. My husband and I had moved into our new home, which we had just built with our two young children, a 2.5-year-old boy and a 9-month-old little girl. During the building process, we would visit our home site every few days and got to meet our new neighbors. During one of those conversations, the topic of fences came up, and we all decided that since we had young children, we wouldn't put up any fences. We would let the children jump from yard to yard, house to house, freely. And that is exactly what happened. While the kids were playing with one another, the adults were themselves socializing. There was a beautiful kindred spirit of hospitality, care, and responsibility for one another. It didn't matter to my neighbors that we were devout Muslims, and it didn't matter to me or my family that they were Catholics, Anglican, or Greek Orthodox. Then September 11th happened. My husband and I were getting ready for work, and we had turned on the TV to catch the morning news. And we saw the images of the towers burning and then collapsing. We have never forgotten those images. How could we? They were played over and over, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I believe the images will always be seared into my memory. I turned to my husband that morning and said, "The fences are going to go up now." There was no way our relationship with our neighbors of just 5 months could withstand such horror. But the fences did not go up. I thought, okay, give it a few weeks when everything has sunk in and when they realize that our 2.5-year-old son has the same name as the most wanted man at that time, Osama. But the fences did not go up. And the other children did not stop playing with my son. And in fact, our neighbors were our greatest supporters and defenders against bigotry, and would proclaim to their family, friends, and colleagues that they felt no fear from us as Muslims, that Muslims should not be tarred with the same brush as those who committed horrific acts against humanity. Did the fences go up at all? Yes, they did, but only after my family and I had moved away. I was so inspired by my experience with my neighbors that I decided to embark on a one-woman campaign to share my faith with anyone and everyone who wanted to learn and know about Islam. After all, if all it took was for people to understand how Islam beautifully informs the way I live in my life in the most gracious and compassionate way possible, that people would have no need to fear. Boy, was I naive. Yes, there were some glorious moments of understanding, of openness and embrace, but there were more moments of narrow-mindedness, ugliness, and othering. And many of those very bad moments came from Christians, unfortunately. For over 5 years, I persevered, but in July 2007, I told myself no more. I couldn't subject myself to any more bigotry. So when I was asked by Brisbane City Council Community Development Officer to work on an interfaith project with a Christian, I said absolutely no. Because her exact words to me was, and I quote, "You will love him, he is a devout Christian." And all I could think of was, oh no, he definitely wants to convert me to Christianity and bash Islam. She implored me to at least meet him once before making up my mind. So on the 17th of September 2008, I met my Christian interfaith partner and good friend, Dave Andrews. Immediately, I knew this was different, that this relationship was going to be genuine, based on trust, acceptance, and most of all, mercy and compassion. Our very first project together was a celebration for the ending of the fasting month of Ramadan at the West End Uniting Church a few months later. Since then, we haven't stopped. We've been working successfully together for over 7 years now, inviting others to join us on our journey to build better and meaningful relations between people of different faiths. In our work, we have sought to, and I want to quote Dave Andrews here, create a safe, open space with a culture of acceptance that extends more than tolerance. It expresses respect for our common humanity, which enables people to engage one another authentically, empathically, and appreciatively. Listen to one another talk about our own faith, learning from each other to grow in our faith. Not seeking to convert others to our religion, but all of us seeking to be converted to God, so that we may love God more wholeheartedly and love our neighbors not only as friends, but also strangers, even enemies as ourselves. Not judging each other and each other's traditions, but encouraging each other to judge our traditions in the light of our sacred call in a common word to love God and love our neighbors as ourselves.